Hello all and welcome to Astro Wheel of Fortune. My name is Vlada and I read tarot, and today we're doing your September predictions. So for this reading I have four groups: group 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. If you watch my channel, you know that in this reading I will go over the general energies for the month, and then we'll go into your material and physical reality. We're going to look at those side of things. We're going to go into your emotional reality, your relationships, platonic, romantic, familial, whatever comes up emotionally. And then we're going to look at your spiritual and self-development. So with that, if you want to pause the video and see which group you are being pulled to the most, you can do that. If you like these readings by me, if you enjoy my content, check out my Patreon for more content where I put out a lot more stuff. That's in the description box below. I also wanted to announce that I now offer channel drawing readings. They're digital drawing readings. And then I also do my own interpretation of the drawing. It will be a written interpretation of the drawing, and you get the drawing as well. So you can ask a specific question for this drawing, or you can just request a general channel drawing from me. If you would like to get that kind of reading from me, you can check out my Etsy. So my Etsy is linked down below as well. Or if you want a normal pick a card reading, or sorry, not a pick a card reading, a normal tarot reading, you can check out my Etsy as well. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, engage with my content. But we're going to get started. So let's get into the September reading. So we're going to get started with group number 1. So group number 1, let's get into the general energy of your September and see what is coming up for you. So we've got universe, we're all just stardust. Grand trine. Sun and stars, kind of interesting. How we've got the universe and she's like holding stars in her hands there, and then we've got the stars here as well. We've also got healing, and we have cosmic highway. The universe is on your side again. So much, these cards just seem to go together so well. Signs, divine guidance, and synchronicity. So this September is going to feel like you're going to feel very connected to the universe, I think, this September. There's this sense of you just feeling so connected to every little synchronicity that happens to you, to every little element that the universe brings into your life. I just feel, and even you see here, she's lying in a field of flowers and the flowers are growing out of her. Again, I'm just picking up on this energy of being so connected to nature, feeling so connected to the universe, feeling so connected to everything around you that you may even find it kind of hard to separate yourself from the universe sometimes. It may be kind of hard to remember in September that you have like this human body, and that you might be very connected to your, like, I'm getting really strong 12th house energy with this group. It's this sense of being connected to the collective, to the point where you merge with the collective. But it's not just about the collective as in like the collective consciousness of humans, or it's everything. Every little insect, every little flower, blade of grass, every little, every tree, everything. You're going to feel so connected to every corner of the universe, basically. I don't know why that might be. We might find out why, but that's such a strong energy here. I think you're also going to feel like you're so divinely guided somewhere. It's going to feel like you're just being moved into the right direction because you have found this alignment with the universe. You might feel, if you're like into astrology or anything like that, you might be super connected to astrology. If you do astrology as a hobby or maybe even for a living, I'm seeing advancements in that area of life. I'm kind of seeing elevation. Maybe that's why you're going to feel so connected to the universe, because you're able to like elevate yourself in your knowledge, maybe integrate more of your knowledge and wisdom when it comes to astrology. Or any sort of universal knowledge. Like I'm even hearing like Akashic Records, and I don't really bring that up in my readings a lot, but I am picking up on that. So maybe you're going to be able to tap into Akashic Records, or you're going to find out that you have some sort of talent around that. This feels, even if you're not someone who like dabbles in reading or doing like psychic things, developing like mediumship, it might develop on its own. Like it might be that kind of thing where it's just like it's happening. It's not I'm not trying to develop it, I'm not trying to tap into it, but somehow I'm noticing all these little things about myself, picking up on these things. I'm just picking up on all of this. I mean that's you kind of feeling that and saying that, like noticing yourself pick up on energies and knowing those energies to be so true, without needing an explanation or any sort of proof. I think you're going to feel very hopeful to keep going in some sort of way. I'm also just picking up that we've got 3, 1, and 4 here. So 3 and 1 is 4, and we've got 4. So some of you could be life path number 4. Maybe that's why you're seeing why you picked this group. But if you're not life path number 4, it could just be indicating with the number 4, kind of becoming more stable and more grounded in your energy through connecting to the universe, and through, it's almost like you're so connected to the collective and you're almost dissolving in the collective knowledge and the collective wisdom, but somehow that is making you more grounded and stable. Somehow that's making you more consistent, more connected in some sort of way. So it's a very interesting energy. It feels really light, but at the same time grounding. So it's almost like air and earth mixed together. I feel light and I feel knowledgeable. I feel like I'm full of wisdom, but at the same time, I'm super, super grounded in reality. I'm super grounded in what I'm doing and where I'm moving to. So yeah, I think you're going to feel very hopeful to keep going, to keep moving in your life. So let's see what is coming up in your material reality. I'm going to pull a card to see what is coming up for group 1 in their material, practical, physical reality for the month of September. Let's get into it. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Again, yeah, that makes me feel like the practical reality is not going to be as important in September. That does not mean that you won't have like things going for you financially or things going for you materially. That's not what that means, but I feel like there is a sense of just living more in your connection to the universe, living more in your subconscious, maybe even living more in things that can't be grasped by the material world, living in the places where the material world can't have a hold on you. So I feel like I almost feel, you may even pick up on this when you are in September, that things almost hit a pause when it comes to material world, in terms of, I almost feel like everything, and it's not to say hit a pause that you're not going to like earn any more money or you're not going to acquire any more material wealth or anything like that. That's not the case here. The energy is just very like, I'm pausing my awareness of the material and physical world. And of course you can't pause it completely. It's not like you can just check out and go, no, I'm up in the sky now. Bye, bitch. That's not what you're doing. You are just really detaching from the material world. I think there's like a cleanse that's happening around your physical and material world, and that's why you're detaching. So maybe the month of September is where you're going to cleanse some like self-limiting beliefs around, material things, around money, around security, around, for some of you it could even be things to do with like the 5 senses. It could be things to do with like absorbing food, or like how you eat, what you put into your body, what you put on your body, what you put on your skin, like all of those kind of like physical things. You might go through a bit of a like the word detox comes to mind, but I don't want that to be the exact explanation of what I'm trying to deliver here, because it's so much more than that. It's just a sense of allowing yourself to regenerate in the way that you perceive and absorb the physical and material reality. So you're kind of like isn't there a Mercury retrograde that's coming up? I'm almost feeling like there is an energy of relearning how you absorb like physical and material reality. It's like I need to relearn, reparent yourself, maybe even around how you absorb material and physical reality. There could be an element of that. Reparent, relearn. It's kind of like I've learned to absorb material reality this kind of way. I've learned how to absorb the physical world around me and understand the physical world around me in this kind of way. And now in order to like readjust that, I first need to kind of detach from it. So that's an interesting energy. There's a sense of detachment from the material and the physical. There's almost like a lack of worrying about physical things. Like it might feel surreal because, you know, it might feel surreal because it might be the first time in your life that you kind of just don't worry about, like I'm seeing someone not worrying about money the way like a child, if they were well taken care of and like they were just able to get money, or not money but like food, and you know, like a really small child, like a child that maybe doesn't have awareness of money yet, if they're well fed and they're well looked after, they're not going to worry like, do my parents have enough money, are like, you know, are my parents budgeting well enough? Like there's almost that kind of sense. You're trusting the universe to just bring you what you need when you need it. So we've also got the 11th house, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. This could be because maybe there are people in your community, friends, people who want to surround you and help you with those material needs and like that physical aspect of life. Like they want to support you. Like maybe if you are lacking something when it comes to the physical or material world, you are going to find a community or people who are going to be willing to support you in order to get those things. Also with the 11th house, again, it's the house of the collective. It's before the 12th house. The 11th house is very much about trusting that the collective will catch you. That if you need catching and that if you need help and you need support, the collective, the surrounding community around you will catch you. They will support you. They've got your back basically. So there's this I don't want to say blind trust because I don't feel like it's blind. I feel like it's something that has been developed over the last few months where you just feel like it's okay. My community has got me. My community has me. It's safe to detach from the outcome when it comes to the material world. It's safe to detach from the outcome when it comes to like the physical reality. My community has my back. I know my community has my back. I believe and trust that my community has my back. So yeah, like it's a very interesting energy. Like you're not even doubting it. So I mean, not to say that there won't be any sort of worries. There could be. Who knows, right? But on a whole, like when I look at the overall picture and the overall energy for September, there is a sense of just like people in my life have my back. People in my life will support me, catch me. I can rely on people. I can rely on like material support from the energies around me, from the people around me. So let's have a look at your relationships, your emotional connections, your emotional state. We've got the Knight of Cups. So first of all, this is a very romantic energy. So I feel like for some of you who picked this group, there could be some romance coming in September, or if you are in a relationship, it could be that there's an added level of romance. And also the washing machine just finished the cycle and it plays a little tune when it stops. And I'm going to take that as a confirmation. So for a lot of you, if you are single and looking for a romantic connection, I'm seeing something like that coming in. Nothing too heavy, nothing too serious, but at the same time with the potential to go towards that. So And I am also seeing that I'm kind of picking up on a lot of kindness from this card in this instance for some reason. So maybe this person is going to make you feel like, well, like they will have so much kindness towards you. And especially if you're like single and this is someone who's a stranger, it kind of feels like this person could have this like immense kindness towards you that really like reassures you and makes you feel really safe and makes you feel like, oh, it's okay. Like, I will come across people on my way that will catch me, that will have my back. There's something about you rediscovering kindness in people. That's the way that I want to put that sentence. It's like you're rediscovering kindness in people and noticing that the people that you are coming across in the month of September, it's like they're kind. Kindness of strangers is what I'm picking up. It's like it's okay to believe that strangers are going to be kind to you and strangers are going to love you and care about you, even if you are just a stranger. It's like it's not a farce. It's not a wishful thinking to think that strangers can be kind. Strangers really truly can be and will be kind. Yeah, the kindness of strangers is really, really coming through here. And I feel like you're gonna mirror that. You're gonna be very kind to strangers as well. There's going to be this sense of like, I want to be kind to people, even though I don't know them, especially because I don't know them. It's like showing people kindness because you don't know them, because you don't know their backstory. There's not like an explanation in your head for why they're acting the way they're acting or whatever. But yeah, for a lot of you, if you're single, like I am definitely picking up on like a romantic energy. If you are in a relationship, I feel like you and your partner are going to be exchanging a lot of kindness. There's that energy of just like feeling really kind towards each other. Not that you weren't kind before, but there's almost like the extra added layer of kindness, an extra added layer of romance. I think, again, you are going to be kind of romanticizing your life, I think. It's okay to romanticize your life sometimes, and I feel like there's a reason you're doing it in the month of September. I think you've worked up towards it. And it, again, reminds me of the 12th house. You know, before we get to the 12th house, we have to go through all the other houses. And along the way, we have houses that are a little bit more difficult and less, you know, there's less romance. And the house that actually is on the same axis as the 12th house is the 6th house, which is not really the house of romance. It's more of the house of like consistency, routine, doing things routinely so that they stay healthy, they stay firm, they stay good. So like with the energy that I'm picking up on here, it's kind of like you've earned your right to romanticize your life, is the way that I would put it. You've gone through the eras or the chapters of your life where you weren't romanticizing your life. You were very realistic. You were very, to the point. You were very consistent. You were in a routine state. And you've brought yourself to the point where, you know what, now it's time to romanticize your life. Now it's safe to romanticize your life. And it's a really good chapter to embrace. And I feel like that's what September is for you. It's like, I want to romanticize my life. I want to feel the energy of like kind of idealism in a way. But I think you're not going to let yourself be so idealistic that you, that you make mistakes, or not to say that you won't make mistakes in September, but it's like that you will do something drastic, or you will do something that would really affect you or bring you into like, a bad place or whatever. I'm not really sure how to word this, but I do feel like overall your emotional state is actually like really, really light, but it's still very deep. If it comes to like, if you want to talk about your platonic energies, although I do take Knight of Cups as very romantic, so I am kind of being pulled, but I also think like the Knight of Cups, he does like to romanticize things. He's a very, it's like, let me romanticize my life, let me make it seem like something more romantic than maybe it actually is, but this kind of feels like a healthy dose of delusion or idealism. So you're not being super delusional. You're not being super idealistic to the point where you're, being obnoxious about it. But there is a level of that is actually helping your healing. It's helping you connect to the universe again. It's helping you to feel like a newfound energy. So, but if you want to talk about platonic connections, I feel like there's also that dose of romanticization. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know. I'm having a brain freeze around it. Anyway, like you're gonna romanticize your friendships as well. You're gonna see your friendships from like a new point of view, like from rose colored glasses, maybe a little bit. But again, I don't see it going anywhere too far. So we've got Neptune. Okay. Sorry, this is funny because this is exactly that. It's very poetic, it's very dreamy, but again, Neptune, it depends on how Neptune is aspected. If it's aspected in not a great way, it can be complete delusion, complete delusion. If it's aspected well, it can be like an added flair of poetry and romance and this kind of like delusion that is healthy, basically, like having a dose of just like I'm just a little bit idealistic, but it's helping me. It's giving me that push to move forward and keep moving. So I feel like there could be something. This is giving me very romantic energy, but I feel like your guides are saying, so whoever, especially if you're like single and you're not in a relationship with this person is coming into your life, be careful not to over romanticize them. That's the only thing that I will say. I don't think you will. But, and I do think that this person is going to be very kind, but don't overestimate, like, not to say don't overestimate how kind this person is. Like, it's not that they're not kind. I see that this person is going to be very kind, but don't make it into what it's not, is what I'm picking up on. Kind of try to stay in the moment. So if you're getting to know somebody new, I think this is going to be a really enjoyable process. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to feel very light, very breezy, very romantic, but try not to over romanticize it, because I feel like September is going to be this like idealistic month in a way for you. And I feel like you're more so focused on emotions. Maybe that's why you're not so focused on material reality, because maybe you're kind of falling in love with someone potentially here. For some of you, if it's not like you're falling in love, you're just like romanticizing your personal relationships because you're feeling that kindness from people around you. And so it's very easy to be in your emotional space. I'm kind of picking up like you may be called to write a lot of poetry or create a lot of art. You might feel called to just really express yourself from a very emotional place. In a very dreamy kind of way. Like, I'm kind of getting, you may find your muse. Like, it almost feels like whoever this person is, it's like they may become a bit of a muse to you. And it's very important that when you find someone who is a muse, that you don't try to put too much projection onto them, like that you don't try to project onto them too much, because Neptune to me is largely about projection, like the places where we project our own like our own experiences or our own feelings onto others. So be careful not to project too much onto this person. I think this person is coming in, they're gonna like you. There's like the feelings feel mutual, but I feel like your guides are just saying, know when it's time to hold your horses, know when it's time to let go and like really embrace that like idealistic and romantic energy, but also know when to hold your horses. That is the energy that I'm picking up on. It's like, know when to hold your horses. So let's look at your spiritual and self-development and see what the cards want to talk about there. And by the way, if you're in a relationship here, I feel like there might be a need to hold your horses in terms of like, you and your partner might have certain like ideas over all of a sudden, or like, let's do this, let's move to this country or something like that. And your guides are just saying, make sure that you are always checking in with the practical side of yourself, with you and your partner. And also don't project onto your partner in terms of like your wants and needs, or not your wants and like dreams more so, because they may not be your partner's dreams. There's something about like, just because something is your dream, make sure that you know that it may not be the other person's dream or the other person's desire. So just make sure that you you're respectful of that, which I'm not saying that you won't be, but that's just the energy that wants to be honored. So, wow, what the hell? We've got the Empress card for your spiritual and self-development. Yeah, I think again, I don't think this delusion, you don't have to worry about it too much, because the Empress card lets me know, for the most part, for most of you, I think you are grounded in reality. You, again, like I said with the fours, it's like you are so connected to the universe, you feel so connected to the collective, you believe in the kindness of strangers, you know, you might have like some romantic energy developing, and yet you know how to ground. Even though you're not focusing on the material or physical reality, you're not focusing on like, you know, where's my money coming from? You know, how can I increase my finances? How can I assure my security? Maybe you're not focusing on that, but you sure as hell are grounded, because the Empress has all her five senses engaged. She knows how to engage her five senses. She knows how to engage herself in the pleasures of life. I think you're just gonna, there's a feeling of you knowing how to derive pleasure from life, and feel connected to the universe through that pleasure. It's like not just pleasure for pleasure's sake, but it's pleasure for the sake of enlightening yourself. It's like, I'm not just deriving pleasure in order to receive pleasure. I'm deriving pleasure so that I can transmute it into something very spiritual. So I can transmute it into something very... It's almost like, oh my God, this is what's coming to mind. It's like, I'm not deriving pleasure for myself. Like when I'm absorbing pleasure from the universe or from the earthly realms, I am not absorbing pleasure just for myself. I'm absorbing pleasure for the whole universe and for the collective. So there's something about you channeling. This is so interesting. Whenever you're absorbing or like taking in pleasure in the month of September, it's almost like you're going to be, you know, like when we take in pleasure, I don't know, this is how I'm going to describe it, and I don't know if this will resonate with you. When we take in pleasure, right? We take it in through our senses, you know, whether we eat nice food, we receive it through the tongue, and in the tongue, all those flavors come through, right? But then there's also a release of pleasure, right? Because, you know, you receive the pleasure, but then there's also like a release. You transmute that pleasure in some sort of like external energetic way, where it's like, even like, you know, if you eat food and you go, like that was really nice, like there's a sense of like, I'm enjoying it. You're outputting the information, the energy into the universe, that you're enjoying the pleasure that you are receiving. So something that I'm picking up on is that you are going to be receiving that pleasure, outputting that information, I'm enjoying that pleasure. But you're not just outputting it in this kind of like limited space where you're just like letting yourself know that you're enjoying it. You're letting the universe know that you're enjoying it. You're like, hey, universe, have some of this energy. There's something so mindful about how you're enjoying romance, how you're enjoying pleasure, how you're enjoying... So it's not that you're not connected to the material and physical reality. You're connected to the physical and material reality through pleasure, but you are not connected to the physical and material reality through the point of view of like it's almost like your root chakra is healing, but it might be healing through the help of your sacral chakra. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but it's just like your sense of security is being healed through how you absorb and like transmute pleasure. It's just such a fascinating energy that I'm picking up with you, group one, for September. And I'm not saying September is going to be perfect. I'm not saying that things are just always going to be just absolutely peachy, but you're just going to feel so connected to the universe. I think even if you make a mistake, you're going to feel connected to the universe. Even if you misstep, even if you do something that is not exactly the right way, or there's something, it's like if you take a detour and you're like, oh, did I go the wrong way? You still feel connected to the universe because it brings you somewhere where you were supposed to be, or something like that. But the energy is just very, the universe will catch me, the collective will catch me. I trust the universe to bring me where it needs to bring me. I don't need to be in control. I don't need to be sitting in the driver's seat, because I can just be the passenger for this month. There's this feeling of I can be the passenger this month and I can enjoy the views. It's when you are the passenger and if someone was driving you around, you get to look at the beautiful mountains and the scenery, and you can see the horses and the goats or whatever, the sheep. You get to experience the road trip in a much more enjoyable way if you're not driving, where you don't have to concentrate. So yeah, there's almost an energy of I don't have to concentrate so hard. That's the feeling, because the Empress, she doesn't need to concentrate so hard. The Emperor is more about concentrating. The Emperor tries to concentrate on what he's doing, whereas the Empress is I don't need to concentrate. I just enjoy the process. So I think in September, what is going to happen is that you're going to enjoy the process. And you know what I'm being reminded of right now? When I was preparing these groups, group one, it took so long to get your cards. Compared to the other groups, all the other groups, the cards just came through. It was no issue. They were flowing. For you, the cards took so long to come through, but I wasn't frustrated with getting the cards. I just felt it's interesting that it's taking its time. So I think there's a slow-paced energy with you in September, group one. So let's just get an astrology card. We've got Cancer energy for your spiritual and self-development. There is a sense of comfort. When I mix that with the Empress energy, there is a sense of, I think emotional comfort is really, 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 really highlighted here. I think emotional comfort is going to be really, really important. You're going to really lean into your emotional comfort. You're going to know how to self-soothe so well. I feel even if you know how to do it already, I think, and it's not that you need self-soothing, it's just natural. There's a natural process of it. And I think you're going to feel very beautiful and very attractive. And it's going to be coming from this heart space. It's this feeling of just I feel attractive because I feel the universe is attracted to me. That's almost the feeling that I'm getting. It's the universe is attracted to me. So of course I feel attractive. I feel beautiful. I feel connected. There's something very soft and sensual, but at the same time having this air quality that is very light. And I don't know, it's again, I don't even want to put a specific label on it or a sign or an element, because we've also got a lot of water energy here, and with the Neptune, I just feel you're just idealistic in some sort of way, and you're allowing yourself to indulge in the idealism. It's it's okay to be idealistic sometimes. It's okay to live from a more romanticized place. It's not a bad thing as long as you know how to then bring yourself back into the structure of it all. And I think maybe in October you're going to be coming back into the structure of it all. But in September is for some delusion and idealism, and rose-colored glasses, they look pretty on me is what I heard. So, why shouldn't I wear these rose-colored glasses when they look so pretty on me? So maybe that is something that is coming through for a reason for you, group number one. So I actually really, really love this energy. I really, really love this energy, group one. So power to you, enjoy your September. I can see that you will. If anything, with the Empress card, you're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy in the purest sense of enjoyment. It's going to be pure enjoyment. So we're going to move forward. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, group number one. If you like that reading, do subscribe, and comment. And also, if you want to tip me, you can do so. Sorry, I felt like my camera was like tilting. But you can tip me. There's a thanks button at the bottom of this video. You can tip me that way. Or you can tip me through my PayPal link, which is in the description box below. So, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'm moving on. So we're going to move on to the next group. Okay, group number 2. Let's get into your reading. Let's see what is coming up in September for you, group 2. Let's get into it. We've got library, take control of your own narrative. And we've got 22 for you. So repeating 2s could be important. You're group 2, and we've got number 22 for you as well. So we've got water element, sensing. Also 2 and 2 is 4, and we've got 4 and 0 is 4 as well. So 2 and 4 are coming out as important numbers. We've also got inspiration and courage. We've got moonlight. I bathe in moonlight, and she whispers that everything will be okay. At this very moment, I'm right where I need to be. And we've also got mushroom dimension. Everything is connected, connection, magic, openness. So interesting, because this energy, I wonder if there's something happening collectively. I'll have to check the astrology for the month of September, because there's such a strong bonding to the collective in both groups that I've done so far. So group 1, and also with you, group 2. I feel such a strong bond to the collective with you, group number 2. If you were attracted to group number 1, definitely watch that one as well. And I usually wouldn't say that, but I feel like, I don't know, yeah, like there must be a connection. If you weren't attracted to it though, don't watch it, because I feel like, oh, I actually didn't realize they were too high up. Don't watch it if you weren't attracted to it, but if you were, maybe there's some messages in group 1 for you. But I am picking up on a slightly different energy for you though. So with being connected to everything, there is something very magical. I don't know if you work closely with the moon. I feel like there might be something manifesting for you during maybe the full moon. So the full moon in September, is that going to be... Oh, Pisces full moon. So for some of you, Pisces full moon could be important. I'm pretty sure that's, or is the full moon at the end of August? I can't remember for sure. No, it wouldn't be. The new moon would be at the end of August, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, the full moon would be in September. Yeah, that's right. So the full moon in Pisces could be important for this group. So keep that in mind. I feel like that came through for a reason. So if you've been trying to manifest something, especially with moon cycles, I feel like Pisces full moon is when you are going to... when you're going to manifest it. So I'm also getting over, I don't know why I'm picking up on 3 of Wands energy. So 3 of Wands energy is kind of seeing the full potential of what you could be and what you could do. And maybe that is because of this connection that you feel to the universe. I think you're seeing a lot more potential within yourself. Like, I have so much more potential than I've given myself credit for up to this point. Yeah, like, I have a lot of potential. I could do a lot with this. Yeah, I'm really picking up, I'm getting 3 of Wands, I'm getting 4 of Wands, I'm getting a lot of Wand energy for some reason with this already. I'm getting like 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Like, I'm getting celebration, progress. So I think you might be celebrating something, group 2. Maybe some progress, some advancement, but also celebrating yourself and your full potential. Like, I could do a lot here. I could achieve a lot here. I could get a lot done. Seeing how successful you can be. It's almost like I'm almost seeing someone visualize or have a vision of themselves in a very successful position or in a really successful place in life, whatever that means to you. Again, everyone's version of success is very different, but I feel like you might have some visions, because I'm picking up on someone having visions and being like, you know, like I'm getting Raven, you know, I never actually watched Raven, but like I know she had visions, right? And it's like that zoom in that they do on her when she's having visions. Like, I'm kind of seeing that energy with you. There is something like that you're gonna be having visions of yourself in a very successful place. Like, wow, I can be this successful. Wow, I can be this successful. There's just this constant upgrade of how successful you can think you can be. So it's like an upgrade in, it's like I thought I can, this is the limit to my success, but now I'm actually seeing this is the limit to my success. But then realizing like, oh my God, there's no limit. There's that kind of feeling to it. So I think you're going to expand how you view your potential. And it's going to come through the collective. So maybe the collective is somehow going to help you see your own potential. I don't know how that's going to play out, but let's see. Maybe the other cards can give us more of an idea. So let's get into your material and physical reality first for the month of September. So, okay, we've got the Five of Pentacles. Don't worry. That's, I understand that can be a bit of a worrying card to get for September when it comes to material and physical things. But yeah, I do feel like there is going to be, I don't want to sugarcoat it at the same time, but there will be more cards coming up. We will understand the story as the cards go on. You may need to budget a little bit better for September. There may be some financial pinches coming your way in September. I don't think it's going to be anything necessarily crazy or scary, or, you're not going to be destitute in any sort of way. I don't think so. I don't believe you're going to be destitute. But I do feel like there might be moments where, it's kind of like, oh, I should have maybe prepared better. I should have budgeted better. I should have saved more. So there may be moments where you have to save and, maybe you won't be able to get like the luxuries that you were hoping to get. Maybe you won't have enough money to splurge on yourself the way that you usually do. You may have to save, you may have to skip that kind of like thing that you really like to do in the month to treat yourself. But I do feel like that might drop you into a little bit of fear. But I feel like there's a reason. It's going to trigger you for a reason. There's a reason that you're being triggered financially or materially. You're going to have to delve into that, and you're going to have to change the narrative around the narrative around how you talk to yourself. I'm getting a very strong sense of like how you talk to yourself when you are coming into a place of like less abundance, in inverted commas, because abundance is not just money. But I feel like your guides want you to notice how you speak to yourself, how you talk to yourself when you don't have as much financial assurance, or you don't have maybe your practical financial reality is a little bit on the low side. It's gonna be highlighting something to you that your guides want you to notice. So just keep that in mind. There might be some triggers around money that come up. It might not even be because I feel like for some of you, it's going to be that your finances are going to be completely fine and you're going to be able to sort it all out in the end. But there will be triggers that come up financially for you that you're going to have to address, basically. So some of you could be doing some shadow work around your practical and physical reality. Now, for others of you, I feel this is not going to be financial. So I really want to stress that, because I don't think this is going to be financial for everybody. For some of you, it is going to be around your physical reality from a point of view. Like I'm getting, for some of you, it could even be something to do with your space and needing to reorganize your space, so that for some of you, maybe you're moving home and you need to pack and you get overwhelmed because there's so much to it and you feel like, oh my God, I have to declutter so much. I have to throw out so many things or something like that. And it might be that sense of I don't want to let go of these items. I don't want to let go of these things. That could be triggering for you. I'm almost picking up on that more so than the money bit. It's kind of like letting go of items or letting go of things that you've held on to. Because they're taking up space, they're heavy, there's a weight to them, right? And your guides are saying you're gonna have to make space, you're gonna have to get rid of that. I'm almost getting you're gonna have to get rid of that, I don't know, those books that you've read, but they can't come with you anymore. You have to donate them, you have to give them to somebody else. You may not want to give them away, you may not want to part with them, but you have to, because you're gonna become lighter, you're gonna feel more fluid once you get rid of them. You have to get rid of those clothes. You have to get rid of those clothes. You don't wear them anymore. Or it's like you wear those, but you know that in this next chapter, you want to get new clothes. You want to get clothes that are different or something like that. You know, like there's that energy. I almost feel more of a decluttering vibe rather than, like, oh, you're going to not have money. But for some of you, there could be some triggers around money as well. It's like having to part with things that you feel very attached to. So having to part maybe with a sum of money that you were holding on to maybe in your savings, and you didn't really know why you were holding on to it, but now you have to part with it. So it's hard, but at the same time, you weren't going to spend that money anytime soon anyway. You were saving it for a rainy day. Oh, you were saving it for a rainy day, and your guides are like, well, maybe this is the rainy day, but don't look at it this way. You have to part with all those material things. At some point, you have to part with them. So that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's like no matter what you acquire materially, you have to part with it at some point. And I think you're actually going to sense you're going to feel a sense of peace once you do part with this. Oh, sixth house is such a decluttering energy. I do feel for most of you, it's not going to be financial. And especially because money is going more so into the digital, I tend to start looking at money from other elements other than just practical, physical, earthly kind of realm. But the sixth house is really about decluttering. You're going to be decluttering. You're going to be getting rid of things, and it's going to be a little bit hard to get rid of things. It's like, oh, I wanted to hold on to this thing. I wanted to hold on to this. I don't know. It could be anything. I think it's going to be very specific things for specific people. But there is a sense of in order for me to move forward, in order for me to be efficient, because the sixth house is the house of efficiency as well. In order for me to be efficient, I need to drop some baggage. It's and it's not emotional baggage. It's literally physical, practical baggage. It could literally be clothes, books, items. It could be anything. You could be giving things away, I'm kind of getting donating, giving things away, and then really detaching, even if that specific item meant a lot to you, even if that specific item got you through something very difficult. It's I'm gonna part with it nonetheless. I am parting with that item. That is something that I am doing. So yeah, I think you're going to part with some material things in the month of September, and I feel it's going to feel triggering, but it's going to bring you a sense of relief in the end. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to part with this. And I feel again, back to me seeing the Three of Wands, because in the Three of Wands, his ships are coming in. It's so that new ships can come in with new items, with new material things. You need to let go so that new things can come in. So I feel for some of you, you could start it earlier than September as well. That is just another message that I'm getting. It's the earlier you do it, the easier your September is going to flow. That's what it is. The earlier you part with these material things, the earlier you part with these, whatever these items are, or maybe it is money for some of you, the sooner you pay that off or the sooner you get rid of it, the easier the rest of the energy is going to flow for you. It's going to flow. So now we're looking at the emotional side of things, your emotional relationships, platonic, romantic, familial. With the Five of Wands in reverse, I feel you're getting over some dramatic energy or feelings that maybe felt dramatic or competitive. It could be, for some of you, I feel you might reconcile with a friend that used to compete with you, or if you never parted with this friend, you may kind of work through the energy of competing with each other. Or maybe this friend, you notice that this friend stops competing with you, is not competing with you as much anymore, and it's going to feel very reassuring. It's you're releasing competitive energy with other people in general, whether it's coming from your side or whether it's coming from the other person or whether it's a mirroring thing. So there is a sense of releasing competition with other people, not feeling you're in competition with anyone, not feeling you have to play some sort of a power struggle, or that your relationships have to have a dose of power dynamics. There's something around power dynamics that's being dissolved. Yeah, I feel like there's a sense of just forgiving, but like it's not like this complete compassionate forgiveness that is like, I embrace you, I love you, I forgive you. It's gonna have that element to it, but the sense is really like, what's the point of me like not forgiving you? What's the point of me continuing this power struggle? Because the energy is very much like, if I forgive, that means I can stop feeling like I have to struggle with you in some sort of way. And I can stop tussling with you. Like, that's the feeling that. So maybe there's someone that you're just kind of like forgiving, and your egos are not really clashing anymore. Maybe you decide to completely walk away from someone because you're like, if as long as we're around each other, our egos will clash. But as long as we can walk away from each other, our egos won't clash. Our egos won't try to tussle and fight. Like Five of Wands in reverse really makes me feel of just like, what's the point of me like struggling and competing with you? There's no point. So, and it's kind of like the Six of Wands comes after the Five of Wands, and the Six of Wands is the card of victory. And it's like usually the person that has won the fight. But in the case of Five of Wands being in reverse, the energy to me is kind of like, I win by walking away. I win by dropping the wand and not trying to fight with you. So there's an energy of you being the bigger person in a situation. Like you may decide to be the bigger person and just say like, look, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to struggle with you. I'm not going to be getting my ego involved in this situation. I'm just going to either walk away, and by walking away, I'm going to be the winner. And the winner, not like, oh, the winner of the situation, but like I will win for myself by walking away, because it's just going to make me more at peace and more happy. Or there could be a scenario where it's like, I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to put down my like fighting gear and let's talk it out. Maybe you might even apologize first. Maybe you feel like you should apologize first in a certain situation. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not saying that that's the case, but there is a sense of like, let me just apologize first. Why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Their ego gets inflated, but if it does, maybe I should just walk away. There's that kind of feeling. So I think in general with other people, you're going to feel very, it's not that you're going to allow people to disrespect you or, disrespect your boundaries, but you're definitely going to like pick and choose your battles kind of energy is coming through. Like, it's like, I don't need to fight this person. I don't need to get involved in a heated argument or debate with this person. Like, I really don't need that right now. With the Capricorn energy, this could be with a Capricorn. For some of you, maybe this is someone who is a Capricorn. But with Capricorn, I feel like there's also a sense of like Capricorns are really good at spotting where they will be successful and where they will not like heed a lot of like not heed like gain a lot of success. It's kind of like, I know. So I feel like you're going to be very aware. Like, am I going to have success in this situation? Am I not going to have success in this situation? And that's going to be a very important aspect. I think this can also translate into your relationships. Like if you are dating, for example, you may be able to discern very quickly, like, do I want to keep the dynamic going between me and this person? And will I have a successful connection with this person? Or will it not be successful and it's just going to be a waste of my time? That is the thing with Capricorn, and especially because we've got the stop. Oh my God. Every time I forget the name of this hourglass, and then I remember it like immediately after it. But the hourglass with the sand, I'm getting a very strong energy, like, please don't waste my time. So I feel like for a lot of you, if you are dating and you're going out on dates or anything like that, the energy is very much like, is this person going to waste my time? Or am I genuinely going to, like, derive some sort of successful energy from this situation. So it's not necessarily like, will this bring me to a successful relationship where we will get married and have like a business together and children together and all of these things together. That's not what you're looking at. It's more so looking at the potential of the relationship, but looking at it from a perspective of like, is there something valuable for me to derive from these dates that I'm having with this person? Even if this doesn't lead to a very serious relationship, am I being led to some sort of value? Even if this relationship ends tomorrow, was this date a valuable experience to me? So you're going to be looking at your dating life from that perspective. Like, is this a valuable experience, or is it just like, is it a waste of my time? Am I wasting my time here? So yeah, there's a little bit of it's like you're very allowing in many ways, and you are ready to be the bigger person, but you're like, nobody should be fooled. You're not being the bigger person because you are letting people walk all over you. You're being the bigger person because you're like, I'm not going to waste my time. If you're going to waste my time, then, you know, don't even bother. So that is the energy that is coming through here. So let's keep moving into your spiritual and self-development. So it's interesting because I feel like your overall energy is very like flowy, and there's almost like emotional, watery energy, but at the same time, it's like, don't waste my time. So it feels like you might actually be, it's almost deceptive. It's almost like you may come across as not very emotional in September, but your emotional depth is going to be quite astounding. Like, you may feel very connected to your emotional space. Like, I'm really picking up with her having her hands over her heart there. Your heart space is going to be very, very active, but that's why you are maybe not sharing it with everyone. You're like, well, I'm not going to share it with you if you are going to waste my time, like, because that's a waste of my work that I've done on my heart space. That's a waste of my time on the emotion that I've cultivated within myself. So let's look at spiritual and self-development. We've got the 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. You're just like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to. It's like, I will only fight if genuinely it seems like it's going to bring me somewhere. Like, the only reason I will fight if it feels like it's going to bring me somewhere, it's going to get me somewhere, that it's not going to be complete nonsense and waste of my time. And at the end of it, I'll just be depleted, emotionally exhausted, and it's just going to feel pointless. Like, I will only fight if it genuinely feels like at the end of the fight or the argument or the debate, there's going to be value. And we've got Mars energy. Move forward, defend self. Like, again, your guys are showing here, the energy is like, I am going to defend myself. Like, I'm not going to be walked all over. I'm not going to be, you know, a doormat. I'm not going to let people just walk all over me. But I'm also not willing to participate in pointless fighting, pointless debates, pointless pointless dynamics of struggle and push and pull and like power play. You're not interested in that in September. So maybe there will be people who will try to do that with you. Maybe there will be people who will try to connect to you in that kind of way. But yeah, you're not interested in it. And I feel like some people might even do it because they think that, you know, it's fun, but you're like, this is not fun for me. This is not something, like, unless you're giving me value out of it, unless I'm learning something from you through a debate with you, unless I'm learning something about myself through this conversation, I'm not interested. But but it's like, it's really funny because I feel like a lot of people are going to perceive you as maybe even stoic or kind of like untouchable in the month of September. You're actually going to be super sensitive. And I think that's the case with Capricorns. What I've found with Capricorn energies, Capricorn energy, it is very, very sensitive. It does have a fishtail. The goat has a fishtail at the end. So there is that wateriness to the symbolism. But like, Capricorn energy is so sensitive. So sensitive. But it's constantly perceived as not very sensitive. As very, you know, stoic or It's like you can be sensitive and strong at the same time. One doesn't negate the other. So I feel like that is what you're projecting. But it's like, not everyone will be able to pick up on your sensitivity. And I feel like maybe that's what you're searching for. You're searching for someone who can pick up on that sensitivity. That they're not seeing you as this like stoic, strong. You are strong, but it's like, I am all those things, but I also want the person that I'm like dating, or the person that I'm going to be friends with, or the person that I'm connecting to see that I'm also quite sensitive, and I have like a lot of sensitivities within me that have a lot of depth. So yeah, that's your stance in the month of September, group number 2. So it's going to be an interesting month for you for sure. I feel like there's a lot of elements that almost seem like they should contradict each other, but they don't. They really don't. There's nothing about those things that contradicts itself. But I do feel strongly with this group. You're going to see some sort of like potential within yourself that you didn't see within yourself before through these experiences. So maybe the potential, maybe you used to fight with people, or you used to like bump heads with people if they were bringing that energy to you, but maybe you're seeing that your potential expands when you don't engage in certain, like you only engage in it when you can derive value from it. But yeah, that's what I have for you. So that was a really interesting reading, group number 2. Actually ended up being very different to group number 1. So I'm gonna move on. If you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment, especially with your feedback. It'd be really nice if you engage with my videos. It helps me grow. If you would like to tip me, you can tip me with the thanks button at the bottom of this video. Or you can tip me on my PayPal link, which is just in the description below, if you'd like to support the channel. But I'm going to move forward. We're moving on to group number 3. So, group number 3, let's get into your reading. So these groups are happening like, it's very a long reading. I feel like maybe September is like a really important month because I feel like I'm spending longer than usual on the readings, but that's not a bad thing. That's good. But let's get into it. Group number 3. What is coming up for you in September? What is the general energy? We've got Justice is coming, Mars, Tears of Joy and Sadness. So bittersweet energy here. We've got Inner Child. And we have Rose Valley, go forth with a soft and open heart, love, feminine energy, and vulnerability. There's something interesting. There's almost like a push and pull between being vulnerable and being kind of like hard-headed. There's a push and pull between being like combative, I suppose, or not even combative, like having the motivation to move, progress, go forth, get things done, but at the same time knowing how to be soft, sit back, relax, and stay back. I think something about your inner child, there's something about your inner child that is like your inner child doesn't know how to feel in the month of September. Like it kind of feels like your inner child might feel angry and sad, but also playful. There's almost a mix of emotions. Maybe something happens or you're reminded of something that brings you back into your child energy, or your childhood. Something reminds you of your childhood that is, oh, we've got 5 and 5 here as well, I just noticed. So there could be something, because the 5 is the energy of change and pivot. And even here you've got like the swinging thing here that makes me think of like pivoting things. So there might be a pivot that happens for you in the month of September that kind of triggers your inner child. But I'm not saying triggers like that it's going to be a bad thing. It's just like something your inner child hasn't gotten to express, hasn't gotten to say. And I feel like you're going to need to be very soft and very, again, I'm getting a very bittersweet energy. I think there's going to be a lot of inner child healing in September, and it's going to be triggering, and sometimes it's going to be difficult, and sometimes it's going to be like tears of sadness, sometimes it's going to be tears of joy, because you're finally processing something that it took you a very long time to process. And with the Justice is coming, you may feel like something just happens, like something brings a sense of balance or justice, And your inner child might even feel vindicated or validated in some sort of way in the month of September. This feels like it's going to happen suddenly with the Mars energy. Whatever this is, it feels like it's going to happen very suddenly, kind of like a quick burst of energy. I kind of feel like catching you off guard. I'm not going to lie, but it's not a bad thing that it's going to catch you off guard. It's not like, it's not a bad thing that it's going to happen that way. If anything, it's probably a good thing. But yeah, I kind of feel like be prepared to release a lot of emotion. You know what's funny? There's been a lot of emotion in all of these readings so far, and I keep thinking how the Pisces full moon is happening in September. So Pisces full moon could be just like very emotional for you, and that makes sense. You know, that Piscean energy, it's just such a Piscean energy just completely consumes things with emotion. It submerges. It's the ocean. It submerges. It dissolves things in it. So I feel like you are going to be feeling it maybe more than any of the other groups. I haven't read for group 4 yet, but I feel like for you, it's going to be such a depth of emotion in September that you're going to experience. Potentially this is happening around the full moon in Pisces, and you're really feeling the effects of that. But your guides are saying you're going to have to be very soft with yourself in the month of September. You can't be harsh with yourself. You can't speak down to yourself. You can't speak down to your inner child. I feel like your inner child may need some extra loving, some extra like tender love and care. You may need to take your inner child on a few dates, on a few like little playful days out. There may be a need to do that. Like asking your inner child what they want to do, asking your inner child how they want to express themselves, asking your inner child what they need in that moment, and really giving that to them. That's going to be really, really important in the month of September for you, group number 3. So let's have a look at your practical, material, physical reality now. Let's see what's coming up for you in that area. Okay, we've got the moon card. Funny, again, it's like kind of like ambiguous emotion, tapping into your physical reality. You may feel kind of confused about how you want to move in terms of your physical reality. You may be confused about how you want to proceed in your career. You may feel confused in how you want to proceed in your I don't know, like, where do I want to live? I don't know. What do I want to do for a living with my job? I don't know. What kind of physical reality would I have, or would I like to have around me? I don't know. Like, there's that kind of feeling to you. And I feel like your guys are just saying, like, it's okay to not know. It's okay to have doubts about things. I feel like maybe you're going to have doubts about certain things, but from the material point of view, like you might feel like there are certain doubts, there are certain confusions, and it's a little bit hard to discern. It's a little bit hard to understand. It's a little bit hard to process, because most of this processing is actually going to be happening in the subconscious. It could be happening during your sleep. So your guides are almost saying, allow yourself to not know. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not have a clear path. It's okay to not have a clear answer on what you want to do. You may be quite confused about what you're going to do next in your career. You may be quite confused on just like how you want to earn money, how you want to build your physical reality. And that's okay, because I think you are going to be in a very emotional space. And to be honest, a lot of the other groups were the same. There is that kind of sentiment running through the other groups. So I do feel like this is a collective energy. I just think you're feeling it a lot more intensely than maybe the rest of the groups. So, and there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with it. So I feel like if you're confused about those matters, about money, career, if you're confused about, you know, where you want to live, what you want to do with your practical reality, how you want to build your practical reality, just allow yourself to not know. I think pay attention to your dreams when it comes to that as well. I feel like a lot of answers will be coming to you subconsciously rather than consciously. That's the feeling that I'm getting with you, group 3. A lot of the answers that you seek, don't try to force them to come in for you consciously. Don't try to come by them through logic. allow them to come in through other, like through channeling or through meditation or through sleep, through your dreams. It'll all solidify at some point. Just because it's not solidifying in September, it's not a bad thing. We all need times and situations in our life where like we need those kind of like vague energies in our life sometimes, because in the vagueness is where we can dissolve the old and start shaping the new. It's funny because one of the other groups was reminding me of the 12th house energy, so I kind of feel that 12th house energy with you as well, group 3. Allow yourself to be, we've also got the 4th house here, so cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. The 4th house is also the house of like comfort from a point of view of like intimacy. You may want to stay in more than usual in September. You may want to keep to yourself more than usual in the month of September. And again, your guides are saying you don't need to feel guilty for that. You don't need to feel bad about that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to stay in a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with wanting to connect to yourself a little bit more. There is more of an introverted, softer energy, but I feel like you might sometimes try to force it. It may almost feel like, you know, okay, I've stayed in enough now. I need to like force myself to go out, or I need to force myself to do this or whatever. But the way that the cards are showing up, your guides are really saying don't force yourself to do anything, because I feel like September is not a good time to force yourself to do things. September is a time to let yourself be as soft as you need to be as I'm almost getting be as passive as you need to be. There's almost a desire to be more active, to be like, no, I need to be more active. Sorry, I'm just, my camera is kind of being, I feel like it's lowering itself lower and lower, so I just needed to, it was annoying me. But, you know, allow yourself to be soft and adjust in a way that you need to adjust, rather than trying to force yourself to be super active, super, you know, like I'm moving forward. If that energy is not there, it's not there. Don't try to create it or pull it from thin air, because it will come in at some point. It's okay if in September you're feeling more passive. But it might irritate you. Maybe you're not used to being passive. Maybe that's the feeling. Maybe your energy is very like, I don't like being passive. I like to make progress, do things, be action oriented. You can be action oriented from a passive place. Maybe a good idea for you, group number 3, is to work out how you can be action oriented, but from a more passive place. What can you do passively but still take action? Like, maybe that's a bit of a puzzle, maybe that's a little bit of a riddle, but maybe that's a riddle that you need to solve in the month of September. So let's have a look at your emotional energy. Okay, 9 of Cups in reverse. Look, I do feel, I'm gonna say this, September, you're gonna need a good cry. You're gonna need a good cry. You're gonna need a release of emotion. It's not, again, I really don't want to scare you, because it's not going to be a bad month. In fact, I think it's going to be a really beautiful, soft month. But it's like everything in you needs to release emotion. Everything in you, like you may just really need a hug. Like you may really need a hug in September. You may really need a friend to sit and listen to you and just like, you know, just be there for you. And that's okay. We have months like that. Or like a friend or a partner or whoever who can sit and listen to you talk about, you know, your difficult childhood or your difficult circumstances that you're dealing with right now, this very moment. Like, I think for a lot of you, you need to find someone who will listen. Don't go through this alone. That is a really big point that I'm getting. And I feel like you will be tempted. There's an energy of like being tempted of like, I feel sad. I feel this kind of like really emotional energy, but I just need to like work through it alone. I just need to move through it alone. I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to connect to anyone. I just want to go through this by myself. Like, there's going to be a very strong desire to emotionally detach. And it's like, that's the worst thing that you could do. And your guides are just really saying, don't detach emotionally. Whatever you do, because you're not detaching. It's not going to be you detaching emotionally, because when you can only truly detach emotionally when you have processed the said emotion. It's like if you think about it, like if this emotion is having a hold on you, right? You're like grasped into this emotion. The only way that you can detach, again, the 12th house, is to dissolve the emotion. How do you dissolve the emotion? Going particle by particle of that emotion and experiencing particle by particle of that emotion until it slowly starts dissolving away from you and it detaches. Now, if you are detached from it and you're saying, I'm detaching from this emotion, you're not detaching from it. You're walking away, but it's still attached to you. You're just ignoring it. You're just ignoring the emotion, and the emotion grows bigger and bigger and bigger and larger and heavier and more difficult. So your guides are really just saying, when it comes to your emotions in the month of September, dissolve them. Don't detach, in inverted commas, because the only detachment that can happen, and I feel like when I started integrating my knowledge about the 12 houses in astrology, I started to understand, the 12th house so much better. The 12th house is not just where we detach, it's where we dissolve into something. It's where our emotions dissolve. We dissolve after death. We dissolve into the collective consciousness. It's all about the only way to cease existing in a true way, or for something to disappear, is for it to dissolve. But it never truly disappears, because when something dissolves, it becomes a part of the greater thing. It's not that it's kind of like if you put a tablet, like an aspirin tablet, into a glass of water. The aspirin itself is not gone. It's still in there. It's still the properties of aspirin are still there, but aspirin as a tablet, as a physical object, is dissolved. It's disappeared. It doesn't exist anymore. But the essence of it is in the cup of water. And I feel like that's what your guides are saying. Allow the essence of your emotions to dissolve, so they're not a part of you on this like very kind of like in a very tough, solid way, but they've dissolved into the space around you. Transmute that energy, transmute those emotions. Your inner child might need to transmute a lot of emotion in the month of September. And I feel like for you, more so than any other group, the full moon in Pisces, it might be very cathartic. I'm getting a lot of cathartic energy with you, with the Mars energy as well. Like, don't forget, Mars is also associated with the 8th house in astrology. The 8th house is really about separating from something. The 8th, Mars creates enough force to separate you from something, to get you away from something. And it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to separate a part of yourself from yourself. So I'm not going to lie, the energy is quite heavy for you, group 3, but it's not like, I really want you to see it from a perspective of you're processing something and you're going to come out on the other end softer. Like, I'm kind of seeing you're coming out at the end of September. I feel like the end of September, because I feel like this energy is going to be mostly pre-full moon in Pisces. And after full moon in Pisces, you're going to be feeling like this. Rose Valley, go forth with a soft and open heart, love, feminine energy, and vulnerability. I think the end of September is going to be these feelings of being very soft. Feeling really soft, feeling really light, because you've processed that more difficult emotion. But I feel like don't self-isolate. Like, it's okay to stay in, the energy is very much, because I do feel like you're going to be tempted to stay in. You're going to be tempted to, be like, I'm just going to be in my own energy, in my own space, yada, yada, yada. That's what I'm doing. And your guides are saying, that's okay, stay in. But if you're going to stay in, maybe invite a friend. Invite someone that you can talk to. Don't self-isolate. Don't put yourself into a corner in your room with a blanket over your head, just like watching Netflix or reading a book and just, hiding away from the world. You will need a listening ear. That is something that I'm really picking up on. We've got that 12th house coming out. So we've got the 12th house for you, group 3, for your emotions. I don't think I need to say anything because I feel like I already delivered the message of like dissolving those emotions like an aspirin in water rather than, pretending that aspirin is not there or whatever. Like, that's the best metaphor that I can come up with. So you're transcending so much emotion, maybe even so much childhood trauma. There's a lot that you're like moving through yourself and filtering through yourself. It's gonna, in a way, and I'm not saying this in a patronizing way at all. This is gonna be an incredible experience. Like, it's almost like I can feel how, it's just so, there's something very cleansing about this energy. There's something very cleansing about September for you. I'm almost hearing the word baptized. It's like you're baptized into a new reality. And I feel like it's gonna like baptized through your tears, almost like that's the energy. And I honestly think there's something very beautiful about this. So embrace it. Embrace the emotion that you're gonna be feeling. Let's move into your spiritual and self-development. Let's get into it. So spiritual and self-development. Oh. Wow, yeah. You're like the 10 of Wands in reverse, you're just letting go of all those burdensome emotions. I think you're going to release a lot in September. It's like it's the final, it's like you're carrying, and then you just the bubble bursts and you just say, I can't carry this anymore. I will not carry this anymore. Yeah. This is going to be a super transformative month for you with Pluto. Super transformative. It feels like, when we heal our inner child, like sometimes it can feel like step by step. I'm healing my inner child. It's like whoop, boop, 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 boop. You're going to be, and you've been healing your inner child in that kind of like boop, 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 step, that kind of way. But in the month of September, it's going to take a leap. It's going to be like your inner child gets the kind of healing that they haven't gotten before. It's going to be like skipping 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 steps. And you're like, you might even find, I don't know what's going to come up for October for you, but you might even find that all of a sudden in October, as a result of September, you're going to get like multiple manifestations in one go or something like that, or multiple things just come your way, because Mars energy also indicates like rapid progress. So to me, this kind of feels like once you go through this process, you're going to be opened up to so many opportunities, and that's why you don't need to worry. You don't need to be scared of this energy. You need to embrace it. You need to enjoy it, and just be sure that you are safe and you're looked after. Don't self-isolate. I really feel that as a very important message for you, group number 3. Don't self-isolate. Don't hide away from people, especially those who naturally want to help you, want to reach out, want to talk to you. Yeah, that's what I have. So I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. That is the message that I have for you. So really take care of yourself, group number 3. It's going to be a month where emotions are going to be running high, but they're running high because it's time to dissolve them. It's time to process them so that they completely dissolve away from you, and you can start with like some sort of a blank slate and move forward in life. So let's keep moving. Let's keep going. So if you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment. And if you would like to tip me, you can tip me with a thanks button at the bottom of this video. Or you can tip me through my PayPal link as well. It's in the description box below. But if you like this reading, do make sure to comment and engage with my content. It really helps me. But I'm going to move on. So we're moving on to group number 4. So group number 4, let's get into your reading. Let's get into it. Let's see what is coming up for you for September. Let's get into it. We've got Throne, your potential is endless. Sagittarius, accept love, ego death, and we've got the last chapter, write your own story, closure, resolution, and forgiveness. Yeah, I feel like September is going to be about allowing people to love you and not trying to run away from people. That's the feeling that I'm getting with this group. Even if your ego is fighting against it, like allowing people to love you. Because I keep hearing, just let me love you. So there might be someone in your life who is just trying to love you, and you know, it could be platonic, it could be romantic. We'll see what comes up in the cards. There might be someone who's trying to give you love, who's trying to give you affection, care, and it's really important to accept that with open arms, with an open heart. With the ego death, it does feel like maybe someone's love, someone who is going to share love with you in the month of September, it's going to really bring you into some sort of an ego death, or bring you to a point where your ego kind of peels away. But yeah, with the Sagittarius energy, I'm really picking up on this sense that you are like you're running away from love. You're running away from maybe potential like friends or family members, or, you know, romantic connections that want to give you love, that want to share their love with you. And I'm getting that meme, you know, that meme where it's like, why are you running? Why are you running? But like, that's the feeling that I'm getting with you. So, and in many ways, there's almost a feeling that you need to forgive yourself. And it might be so subconscious. It might be so subconscious. You need to forgive yourself for your past mistakes and your past, downfalls in love, like, and where you made, like, the mistakes that you've made in love and the things that you did wrong in love. You may need to forgive yourself in order to be able to accept this kind of love. There is a very strong sense of like forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself so that you can accept this love. So maybe there's almost a feeling like that you feel on some sort of subconscious level that you don't deserve the kind of love that's coming to you in October. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that it is going to be romantic. For some of you, it could be. But I think overall, did I just say October? I meant September, but maybe October as well. But in September, there's a love that's coming your way that almost feels like there's going to be this temptation to just run away from it, because there's this feeling of, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve the kind of love that like this person or these people are. You're going to be showered with love is almost what I want to say. You will be showered with love from people around you. And again, I'm not saying this has to be someone that you already know. Even this might be even someone that you meet, someone new. It will be different for everyone, but the main focus or the main point of this energy is you being like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I'm gonna run away from it. Feels uncomfortable. No, 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 no. Get away from me. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting with this group. It's like, I can't let myself be loved like this. It's not possible. Not possible. Not possible. Absolutely not. Like, it's just such a strong resistance to a love that is very abundant and very pure and very genuine. And there might be an energy where you are questioning whether it's pure or genuine, because it's that feeling of like, well, I don't deserve pure and genuine, so therefore this person must be lying. This person must be faking it. Or these people must be faking it. They're not doing it for real, but they are doing it for real. And there's a really, really, really big message here about knowing that you deserve this. You deserve this. I almost feel like I need to just say this a couple of times. You deserve the love that this person is going to show you. You deserve it. It's your right to have this kind of love from whoever this person is going to be, or people. For some of you, it's going to be multiple people. But it's very, like, there's something very genuine. There's something very abundant about the love that you're receiving. And you're just like, I don't deserve it. You may need to just really work on closing off a chapter where you believe that, you don't deserve a certain type of love. Or I would almost look at like the self-limiting beliefs around what you think, the kind of love that you should be receiving. What do you think that is? Like, what is your perception of what is what you realistically deserve when it comes to love? But let's look at your practical reality. Let's get the energies here. I think you are very concerned with freedom, even outside of this like loving energy. So maybe you are afraid of being stifled. Freedom is really important to you in September. You're like, I want to be free. I want to have freedom. I want to be abundant. In a way where I don't have to be tied down by someone, where I don't have to be, it's almost like, will this person limit me? If I accept this person's love, will they use that as a reason to limit me or stifle me in some sort of way? So there's a couple of things that are coming up, but let's look at your material reality. Wow, this card came out for material reality in group number 3 as well. So there's a lot of similarities with these groups right now that I'm noticing. This is probably one of the most cohesive September or monthly reads that I've done, where I feel like every group has like a very strong connection to the other. And it's almost like I feel like this is the only reading where it could help to watch all of the groups almost for the month of September, because I don't know, they all seem very similar in some sort of way, but at the same time there are differences though, but it's just there are a lot of similarities. This is like the least diverse monthly read that I've done in a while. So the moon card is coming through as not really being sure about your physical reality. But for you, it's a little bit different than group 3, I'm going to say, because what I'm picking up with your material reality is that your physical reality is going to start, I wouldn't say crumbling, but it's going to start, you're going to start questioning the physical reality that you've been living in until this point. It's like maybe this person's love or these people's love is really going to make you realize that the physical reality that you, or how you perceived physical reality, how you saw physical reality up until this point, it's like, oh, this is not true, and this is not how this works, and this is not how this physical reality works at all, and whatever I believed to be true is actually not true at all. And it's like, it's this person's or these people's love that makes you see that. And it might be a little bit scary at the same time. And that's why maybe you will be, kind of wanting to run away. Because it's like, what? I've been living a lie? There might be a little bit of an energy of that. I'm kind of picking up your biases could really get shattered. Whatever you are biased about, whatever you believe to be true, and this concrete, almost physical, foolproof truth, whatever you believe that to be, that's gonna get questioned. And it's gonna I just heard it's gonna be a doozy. So I don't know if that resonates, but like, I mean, it's going to be a good thing though, because you're going to be able, again, it's like the ego death, because the ego likes to define things. The ego likes things that are reasonable, rational, things that can be proven, things that are set in stone. But the thing is, nothing is ever set in stone. There you go. It's an ego death that is happening. So I think someone's love towards you is going to just completely dismantle what you believe up until this point. And that feels scary. It feels scary when something is dismantled for us, when our belief is like shattered in some sort of way. But it's funny because it's not being shattered in a violent way or in a way that is, earth shattering. I mean, it could be earth shattering, but it's being shattered through the mode of like pure, genuine love. We've got Aries energy. So Aries energy is very brave. You're going to have to be quite brave about it. You're going to have to be quite courageous with the fact that the things that you thought to be true, the things that you thought were real, are not actually real. You're going to have to be brave about it. You're going to have to see it from a perspective of, okay, let me reconstruct what I see as real. Let me redirect. I'm not scared. This is not a scary thing that's happening. The fact that my reality or my perception of reality is being completely dissolved and completely changed, that's not a scary thing. It's a new opportunity. It's a new day. You're going to have to be very confident in your ability to reconstruct what you see your physical reality as, how you perceive your physical reality. Like, just be brave, be strong. You're going to be okay. Nothing bad is happening. And it's funny. It's like nothing bad is happening at all for you in September. In fact, it's a really good thing. You're experiencing an abundance of love, either from one person or like multiple people. It's a beautiful thing to be happening to you, but you're seeing it as a little bit of like disaster, the end of the world. So it might be a little bit hard, because it might even feel that I'm kind of picking up this person's love might be so abundant and so pure and so genuine that another aspect of either you feel they're trying to take advantage of me or they're trying to do something here, or on the other side, you're like, or if I accept this person's love, am I taking advantage of them? Am I taking advantage of this person and making them feel, and using them in some sort of way? So there's a fear of like using this person as well. But you need to forgive yourself. I think there's something you can't seem to forgive yourself for. So your emotional reality, we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. I don't want to work with you on these emotions. I don't want to. There's a feeling of like, I don't want to. 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 So that's what I keep hearing. It's like emotions, I don't want to. Emotional feelings and feeling things in my heart and in my soul, I don't want to. That is the feeling that I'm getting. But it's like, you have to do your part. It might feel like, what do you mean do my part? But you need to do your part in like talking about your feelings, talking about your emotions. It might even be that you're kind of falling for someone and you don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not ready. I don't want to. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting. You're going to have to work with the universe. Because I'm almost getting the universe is like, you're going to have to work with me here. I'm trying to give you something good. That's the feeling that I'm getting. The universe is like, I'm trying to give you something good here. I'm trying to bring you something like very special. Something very, very fulfilling. Abundance of love. Sounds nice. Doesn't it sound nice? I feel like your group 4, you could be quite funny, because I feel a more like playful energy. You could mask a lot of your emotions with humor as well. Classic Sagittarius. You could mask a lot of your emotions with humor and joking and kind of like, it's not a big deal. Like, things are surface let's keep it surface level. But I think in the month of September, you're gonna, and don't feel like you're alone in this. Every single group that I've done, every single group is going to be made to connect to the depth of their emotions. So, yeah, and I think it might be the hardest for you, because you like that, you like to keep it light. You like to keep it like, let's not look what's in those depths. Let's not look at those depths right now, So, but the universe is very like, you will need to work with me. You will need to open up emotionally. You will need to do your part. Do your part is a really big energy around your emotional space. If you don't do your part, then you can't receive the blessings that the universe is trying to bring to you. And in the moment, it may feel like it's not even a blessing, because this love that you're going to be receiving, I feel for some of you, it's like a person is coming in and maybe they're falling in love with you and they care about you and they have feelings for you. And you are noticing that you have feelings for them as well. And you're like, shit, no, absolutely not. Let's get out of here. And the universe is like, this is a good thing that I'm bringing. This is some good shit that I'm bringing into your life. You need to do your part. You need to do the work in order to receive it. It's like, I can bring it to you, but I can't receive it for you. Oh, put that on a t-shirt. I can bring it to you, but I can't receive it for you. It's like, you know, when you try to feed a child, or like a baby, and they just like they won't open their mouth to like eat the food. It's like, I can bring the spoon up to your mouth. I can bring it right up to your lips, but if you don't open your mouth, I can't feed you. So, universe is trying to feed you emotionally, nurture and nourish you emotionally. And you're going to have to, you know, it's going to do the airplane. It's going to go, brrr, it's going to do all of that. It's going to do all the fun stuff for you, but you will need to open the mouth at the end. That's what I'm getting for you, group 4. This is a funny group. I'm like really enjoying the sense of humor that I'm picking up from this group. Because you might even kind of like, you know, you might be listening to this group and being like, yeah, I know. But like, you know, then you have to drop. And I think there's another element to this where you will need to be vulnerable without like self-deprecating humor or covering things with humor. Like there might be discussions or conversations that you have to have with certain someone or people in your life who want to love you from a very vulnerable perspective where you're not cracking jokes. And that might be quite hard I feel like it would be quite hard for you, group 4. Like, what do you mean I can't crack jokes? It's like telling you not to breathe or something. That's what I feel. We've got the first house, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. You are not going to lose your individuality. I promise you, you won't. You won't lose your independence. And it's such a big theme for you in September. It's like, you can feel the love, you can feel the passion, you can feel this. Again, could be, for some of you, it could be someone like coming into your life and the two of you are kind of falling in love. But you don't want to admit that to yourself, that's for sure. So you might even be like, doesn't resonate actually. But with this first house card, it's like, I am not losing my independence no matter what. Well, guess what? This person is not trying to take your independence. This person is not trying to turn you into someone you're not. This person is not trying to deceive you. This person is not trying to get something from you. This person just wants to love. And I think you're getting someone who is very emotionally mature. So whoever this person is that's coming into your life with this like loving energy, they are super emotionally mature. But one thing you might get scared off, or you might get a little bit like, no, because you may feel, because they're so emotionally mature, again, it might make you feel like you don't deserve them. And the cycle starts again. But your universe, the universe is saying, you're going to have to work with me, because this is a really good thing that I'm bringing into your life. I worked really hard on manifesting this into your reality. You're going to have to, come on, open up those doors. Peel away that ego. Yes, this person is going to shatter something, like some reality for you. This person's going to make you realize that, you know, this person might make you look at people differently. Or maybe even maybe you have stereotyped a certain type of person. Maybe you have biases around a certain type of person. And maybe that's exactly the type of person that's coming in, and they're going to shatter your biases and stereotypes. And that's not going to be easy. That's not going to be fun. It's going to feel like shit. No, it's not gonna feel like shit, but it's gonna be like shit. Now I have to deal with this. Now I have to reform the way that I see reality, the way that I perceive things. So you're gonna have fun. I feel, in a way, September is actually gonna be really fun. But you're just gonna be, do you like adventure? Do you like adrenaline? Well, there you go. That's your September. But it's not adrenaline like I'm jumping out of an airplane and skydiving. It's adrenaline of the crushing of your reality. It's the adrenaline of nothing is real and life is a hologram. Sorry, it's just like, what is life? I feel like you're just gonna be like, what is life? What is going on? Why am I all of a sudden thinking things that are just like completely out of the realm of what I thought I could ever think? It's almost like, see the way she's going from this forest into this forest that is like really colorful, and there's rainbow, and there's like, it's just a different reality. You're going to be stepping into a different reality through the love of this person. That is so beautiful. We've got the Queen of Pentacles for your self-development, your spiritual development. It's going to help you, this month is going to help you ground in this new reality. For a lot of you, this person could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Maybe an earth sign in their big three or something like that. But I do feel like your spiritual and self-development is riding on a person. Potentially a woman for some of you, but take what resonates. Doesn't have to be. This is going to be I feel like your spiritual and self-development it's not that it's riding on this person. You can develop without this person. Don't worry. But this person is important. There's an important element to it. And this person is so giving. I think there's just someone coming into your life who is so giving, so loving, so giving, has a lot to give, doesn't expect anything in return. They're giving because they want to give. It's not that they will allow you to respect them or disrespect them, though. That's not the case. Like, if you disrespect them, they're going to be out. But it's like they're giving because they can, not because they need something from you or they're desperate or anything like that. They're a giver. This is someone who's a giver. Acts of service could be their love language as well, or gift giving could be their love language as well. Receive what you are being given. Again, like the universe said, I can bring you anything. I can bring you whatever you want, but it's up to you to receive. I can't receive it for you. I can't receive it for you. You have to receive it for yourself. So I think you're going to have to get into your receptive energy a lot more. And I do feel like your guides are really just coming through and saying, you deserve more in terms of love, like in terms of like being loved by someone and cared by someone. You deserve more than you allow yourself to believe. We've got Neptune. Look, it's going to be a confusing month, but by the looks of it, it's going to be a confusing month for everyone for different reasons. So I'm looking forward to September. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. We're all going to be really confused, okay? Just what I'm gathering from the collective. But it's going to be confusing, but it's going to be confusing because it needs to be confusing. Your reality needs to shatter. It's time. It's time for you to change how you view life, how you view the world. It's time for you to see life differently. That's basically the message of this. It's time for you to view life differently. It's time for you to see that what you believe life to be, it's not that. It's not exactly that. You need to be brave. You need to work with the universe. You need to do your part. I keep getting that as a really big message. You need to do your part in receiving love. And it's like you're craving this. You've manifested this. You've manifested this person. You've called in this person. This is exactly the kind of person that you wanted to come in, but exactly the kind of person you were seeing this person from an ego perspective. The exact type of person that you needed has come in. Not the person you wanted, but the person you needed. It's like you call in what you want and you get what you need. I feel like that's the energy here. And just because this person doesn't fit the stereotype, like there's something about, maybe it's this person and they're like, you have a stereotype for this person and they don't fit the stereotype. It's like they are from that background, or they do that kind of job, or they do that, whatever it is, but they don't fit the stereotype. And you're going to be grappling with that. You're going to be struggling with that. You're going to be saying to yourself, wait a second, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I know how these people are. And the universe is like, no, this person is what you think, I'm going to challenge your stereotypes. I think your stereotypes are going to be challenged. Your biases are going to be challenged. Your ego is going to be challenged. But it's a good thing. But don't worry, you're not going to lose your freedom. I feel like you have a fear here that you're going to lose your freedom. You're going to lose the lightness, that you're not going to be able to do whatever you want. I feel like, again, this person doesn't want anything from you. In a way. But again, respect they want. Respect they want. But if you disrespect this person, the Queen of Pentacles is not the kind of person that tolerates bullshit. Queen of Pentacles is not going to sit around and be like, oh my God, okay, just disrespect me, no problem. The Queen of Pentacles, if you disrespect her, she's going to walk away and she's like, are you joking? No, absolutely not. But the Queen of Pentacles at the same time, she only gives because she can. She only gives when she can. And she doesn't expect you to give something back or the exact thing back. She just expects you to appreciate what she's giving you. So, yeah, it feels like there's a person that is coming in very like caring, nurturing, but also like will not be disrespected, will not sit there with folded arms and be like, oh my god, yeah, no problem, just and I'm not saying that you will disrespect this person. I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm just, this is a strong person. Don't underestimate that whoever is coming in here, they're a strong person. They're strong, they're powerful, they know who they are. They know exactly who they are. Like, I'm getting this, and that could maybe even make you feel intimidated as well, because it may feel like, because this person knows who they are, it might highlight to you the ways in which you don't know who you are. But that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. This person is meant to help. Queen of Pentacles is an energy of a helper, someone who's coming in to help, someone who's coming in to be of assistance of some kind. So your guides are saying allow this person to help you in whatever way they can, whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, whether it be, I don't know what way this person can help you. I have a feeling that it's going to be different for everyone here, but you're getting a person who's coming into your life. Maybe they're already a part of your life, but they're coming in to help you. They're coming in to give you unconditional love and care. For some of you, this could be romantic, but for some of you, it's not going to be romantic. It's just going to be like, this person wants to be your friend, maybe. This person wants to be there for you. It doesn't have to be romantic as well. I think this person's just going to like you. Like, I think this person's just going to be like, you're a cool person. I want to show you love and care. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting with this person. So this person, not like, don't worry, this is not someone who's expecting something from you. But yeah, your reality is going to be quite shattered. Like, I think you're going to be rebuilding your sense of reality post September. That's what I'm picking up on here. But accept the love, accept the help, accept the support. It's going to be abundant. Again, the universe can bring you anything, but it can't receive it for you. So I'm going to leave you with that, because that's your saying group 4. So I'm going to leave it there. So if you like this reading, do like, subscribe, and comment, especially with your feedback. I'd love to hear how that resonated, what you thought of that reading. Engage with my content by commenting, liking, subscribing. Also, if you like this reading and you'd like to tip me, you can tip me by clicking the thanks button at the bottom of the video to support my channel, or you can tip me on my PayPal link below in the description box. So you can do it that way as well. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.